Hi, I'm Lauren Schramm from Commercial Observer. We are here in Cannes, France for Mapic 2017, and we are coming to you live from Palais de Festival, the convention center, where we talk to retail pros about what they are seeing in the retail climate.
I think retailers are so used to working with their existing customer bases. The customer of yesterday is changing, and you have to adapt for the customer of tomorrow.
Even established retailers, what can you do to make your store different? Why would you want to come to this location versus any other? And that's something that we're really going to focus on in the West. It's something that I think we've done pretty well at Brookfield Place, and each store, it's a small element, and maybe some people don't know it, but each store has a little twist. Not all of them, but a good amount of them do. And so I think that's important. I think to just differentiate the store some way.
There has to be a reason to go into the store. And the leader for years was Apple. You went into the Apple store, you bought your phone or whatever you needed, but then you came back.
First and foremost, a lot of retailers lost sight of their product. They didn't know who their core target audience was, and they weren't necessarily making thoughtful, quality product that was exciting and spoke to that customer.
Do you want to do 6 stores across the U.S. in major cities, or do you want to eventually have a 250 store fleet?
There's no predictability in the retail business model right now, and I think that's why we're seeing things. Retailers used to understand, they used to be able to buy for a season, if it was soft goods, or know their customer, make purchases, put it on the shelf, and sell with a certain level of predictability. That predictability does not exist in the retailing brick and mortar model anymore. There's so many examples of very innovative and interesting things, but how many are going to last, right?
Have you been to the Samsung store in meatpacking? They don't sell products. They come in and try our product out. It's an engagement. It's a high-touch store where you'll walk in, you'll look at the washer and dryer, you'll look at the microwave, you'll look at the phone, and then you'll turn to the associate and say, I'd like to place that order. Well, you can't place it here, but here's where you can. But it's a customer showroom. It's a branding store.
I was in an Under Armour store in Boston a couple weeks ago, and there was a digital display with a pad, and you stand on the pad and you start running on it. That's cool, that's innovative, that's interesting. 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been a thought. So I think doing those type of things to engage your client and engage your customer is really the way that retail is going to need to evolve in order to continue to be relevant.
So European retailers are basically not expanding into the U.S. as much as they weren't previously.
I think in keeping with the ongoing trends, the retailers that are making their way into the U.S. are heavily focused on food and beverage and entertainment.
I think there's momentum. I think we're seeing more people dipping their toe in the water, so to speak, whether it's a short-term relationship that might turn long-term, or a tenant that's always been looking around in New York or the US, finally taking the time and capital to make the long-term commitment now, while there are more spaces on the market and rents in some districts have come down.
I think we are now more ready, more mature to talk to people in very competitive and very mature markets like the US.
I mean, the US market is huge, right? So it's not doom and gloom at all, right? You gotta talk Nashville, you gotta talk Salt Lake City, you gotta talk Seattle's on fire, right? You gotta talk Houston and Dallas, and Austin is a gorgeous city, and Atlanta's a great city, and Little Rock has tremendous food scene in it, and like Springfield, Missouri has a tremendous food scene in it. And a lot of this, like what 99% of all brokers do are go to either New York or LA, and that's all they know, right? That's all they can talk about. And if they don't even know where Atlanta is on the map. And if you go down to Atlanta, or if you go down to Little Rock, or if you go down to St. Louis, or if you go down to Nashville, and see the rest of America, you'll find some very interesting concepts that are doing extremely well.
That's a wrap from Cannes, France. I'm Lauren Schramm of Commercial Observer. See you next time.